Hey, we're live, guys. We're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is Calvin. I am Calvin Kelly. Well, the Kelly Hustle. What's going on with you, bro?
AKA none, man. Just chilling. Trying to keep to the grind, the resale grind. Things are going solid right now. With kind of the fourth quarter, just Christmas rest. So things are going good with that right now. You could always be doing better, but yeah. So just doing that, focusing on that, and trying to find other ways to make money, man. I mean, I always go back to, I was just thinking about it today. It's just like eBay's great. eBay's a great foundation to make some solid money, but at the end of the day, when I was working, a regular 9 to 5, it's like, okay, I was always thinking of other ways to make another income because, like, one income, who did I hear from? They said if you have one income, you're one step away from having no income. So I'm always looking for other ways to try to make some more income, man.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about that right before the show started. So, anyways, in case people don't know who you are, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people your name and where you live and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Calvin Kelly. My channel used to be the Kelly Hustle. Changed it up a little bit. Just for a few different reasons, nothing like really crazy in particular, but just changed up the channel. So I am Calvin Kelly. That's my name. Originally born and raised San Diego, California. I just turned 37. But when I was 34, moved to Iowa. Wife, 2 kids. My wife is a UPS driver. So everybody out there in the reselling world, your packages, may at one point, kind of intercept with her company. So yeah, just doing the eBay thing right now. And then, looking to get back into making content on YouTube. I was making some, I was kind of consistent there for a minute there. And then it kind of just got to the point to where I kind of hit a roadblock mentally. And I was just like, I didn't want to put no more time into it just because editing purposes. And then I just didn't really know what kind of content I wanted to make that I was going to be happy with. So I kind of pumped the brakes on the content. But I always think of, things as far as content that I do want to put out. It's just a matter of kind of getting back into the room and putting out content, because content, it's a rhythm. Once you get the rhythm, it makes things a lot easier. So
yeah, it's almost like a writer, and they get writer's block, and then once they get past their writer's block, they're good to go. But yeah, we were talking on Instagram last week, and you said you wanted to make more entrepreneurial content. And I'm like, well, bro, it's your channel. You can make whatever content you want to make. You got subscribers, you got people that'll follow you and come check your channel out. So it's just whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you want to do. I wanted to say hi to the Lone Star Picker in the chat. We got the Bargain Effect here. We got American Made. We got Hot Flip Heidi in the house. Yeah, it says mental roadblocks are my specialty. So yeah, that happens, but it's okay. It's all right. It's called life. Stuff happens, man. But so tell me, man, how have you been doing, man? It's been a couple months since I got to catch up with you. I run into you all the time in the live stream chats, but it's been a while since we had one-on-one time to hang out, man. So you've still been doing your eBay thing, and you've still been being, a father, taking care of your kids, right? What else has been going on with you lately?
That's pretty much it, man. Just trying to stick to eBay. There's a point probably about 2 months ago where I just kind of got in this kind of a fog mentally. And so, it definitely, you could see the impact that it had on my eBay store. But I talked to my wife about it and everything, and, kind of got back on track with stuff. So again, eBay's solid. Again, you could always be doing better as a reseller and stuff like that. But that's what I'm doing. Again, focusing on that. Because that's my main source of income. And then, again, kids are back in school 4 days a week now. So that makes things a lot easier. They're out of school today. So they go Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, and then they're Thursday and Friday. So today they're at home. So today they're just, stuck at home with me, running me crazy.
All right, cool. We're gonna bring the Kelly Hustle back out of YouTube retirement. So we go. He's gonna be back soon, bro. I wanted to say hi to Derek here. He says Calvin. He's here hanging out with us. We got the Far North here, and we got Kentucky Fan 42. So if you guys want to drop questions in the chat, Calvin is a full-time reseller and a full-time dad, right? And a full-time husband. So tell me, man, how has your sales been this year, man? Well, this up and down and lockdowns and all this craziness that's been going on. How has your sales been on eBay? You've been killing it. Has it been about the same? Is it going up with Christmas coming around and the lockdown, or what?
So I went full time in March, like towards the middle of March. Was like March. It was Friday the 13th was my last day of working at my job. So it was crazy because the transition from me going from full time working the job to going to full time eBay, you know, and I had my capital. I had a solid enough capital to where I knew I was going to be fine, having to actually pull from it now, and then still have enough capital to invest. But during that time, my wife was supposed to get was supposed to go into driver training, but it got pushed back. So she was still kind of getting her part-time pay that she was getting.
Yeah. And
so now what I was having to account for was a lot more than we anticipated. So so that kind of got me like got me nervous, you know, because we kind of had everything planned out, but now I was going to have to account for a lot more than I was going to, because she wasn't going to go to training yet. So that got me nervous. So it just kind of got me on my grind, but it's been up and down, steady, but, you know, kind of up and down at the same time. You know how this business is. Of course, right now, you know, since November, things have been, you know, just picking up for sure. And it's always going to pick up during the fourth quarter. But, you know, just staying consistent with everything, you'll never have too big of a drop, you know, so to affect your business that bad.
So, Calvin, tell me, what type of products have you been looking out for? What's been selling great for you? And talk a little bit about how that adjustment is from you used to having a full-time job to now being a full-time reseller. You want to talk a little bit about that as well?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said you want to talk about, you know, how your adjustment was from working a full-time job to now being a full-time reseller. And I wanted you to talk a little bit about what type of items have been selling well for you on eBay lately. Go ahead.
I mean, lately, the transition going from full-time, you know, being clocking in the traditional 9 to 5 to going full-time reselling, you just got a lot more opportunity to find stuff. You got a lot more opportunity to be out there on the hunt. You got a lot more time to get out to, you know, to list more things. So you got a lot more time to really just focus on your business. So you can put more into the business, and typically that means that you're going to get more. You're going to get more out of it. So that's one part of it. But in regards to what's selling more, I sell any and everything. So, you know, I'm kind of a sourcer of, you know, many avenues. I don't really discriminate on what I'm looking for. But, you know, a lot of electronics are selling good right now. I got a lot of hats listed in my store, so I sell a pretty good amount of hats. Right now, a lot of collectible items are selling. You know, so collectible dolls, toys, things like that. Nostalgia,
yeah,
you know, that people are going to want, you know, on Christmas Day. So things that are collectible. But I mean, I would say, I mean, there's not one item in particular, you know, that's like killing. I think it's just anything, you know, obviously, you know,
you're breaking up a little bit, Calvin.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello.
Hold up 1 second. You're breaking up. I'm gonna jump out and jump back in because we're freezing up bad. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay. Freeze.
Yeah, you're man.
Are we back in?
Here, I just kicked you out of the stream. I'm gonna try to bring you back in. There you are. We're good. Yeah, you were frozen. I kicked you out and brought you back in. So, hey, I just wanted to say hi to Hyphen Gold for coming by, hanging out with us. I saw Fundamentals of Side Hustling in here with us. We got the Far North. We got Emily Conway here. She says, hey, Calvin, I told you got a fan club, Calvin. I told you, man. All you got to do is put out content and people will be there to support you, bro. So you're good to go, man. So we got a question in the chat that says, Don says, what is the first item that you ever sold on eBay? And we got Javela Flips in the house. Go ahead.
First item I ever sold on eBay was it was probably a bad buy, but it was the first time I actually went out to source. And I told myself I wasn't going to go out and source. I started selling stuff around the house. I was like, once I saw all the stuff that I listed around the house, then I'm going to start going out and source. But my buddy, who I worked with at the time, he started going sourcing the thrift stores and he was showing me all the stuff. So I was like, I got that itch. So I went out to the thrift store and it was a Pink Floyd t-shirt. And it wasn't vintage. It was just one of those kind of those those repop t-shirts of Pink Floyd. I think I sold it for like $13. And and I didn't have a printer at the time, so I actually had to go to the store or to the USPS and get everything printed out right there. I probably ended up losing money on that whole shirt, but that was the first thing that I actually flipped or sold, they say, because I lost money on that.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that there's opportunities everywhere, man. I stopped at the thrift store today. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I picked this up. I don't know if you can see it. I picked this up for $1.50 at the thrift store. Guess how much this is selling for on eBay? Guess, Calvin.
Ooh, $1.50 was probably about $25.
No, bro, it's selling for $50 on eBay, bro. $50.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
And this item right here, this is a DVD, right? I paid 75 cents for this at the thrift store. It's selling on eBay for $40. So you walk in and walk out, you spent $2.25. It's going to turn into $90, almost $100. Just like that quick. Like I said, you go when you're out there at a thrift store, all you got to do is scan this barcode right here, and you can look it up. This one right here was 75 cents at the thrift store, and it's going to sell on eBay for $40.
Yeah.
And this one was $1.50. And it sells on eBay for $50. So you walk in and walk out, you could turn $2 into almost $100 in 5 minutes if you just hustle. So so Calvin, man, tell me what's going on with the YouTube channel, bro? Oh, we just got some people in the chat. Emily Conway, we got Hyphen Gold. He says he's waiting on new content from the Kelly Hustle. Sometimes even when I'm at work. And last time you had a live stream, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just play Calvin's channel in the background. I hope you get your watch time hours in. Come hang out with the Kelly Hustle. I think you had Sam on, the Dapper Tiger, and you guys were just hanging and chilling out. You remember that?
I think, I mean, when was it? It was like
wild, man.
It was the first live I ever did. Yeah, it was just kind of impromptu, but as far as content goes, man, it's just I had to step back. I had to regroup. Again, I had to. When you go full time, when you're if you're self-employed, you just having to depend on everything as far as finances, all on your own and doing everything on your own. You kind of gotta stay focused on that. So, YouTube, I don't want to say it took away from my focus, but it was definitely taken away from time I could have been putting into the business. So that was one aspect of me kind of pumping the brakes on it. But at the same time, the content I was making as far as reselling goes is I didn't get in. I've always wanted to make content. It was just hard for me to start just because being self-conscious and all that stuff and me feeling stupid in front of a camera. But when I started actually making content, I didn't know it would be reselling content. And so I kind of, I just started making it and it was fun. But ultimately, that's not the type of content I want to create, which is one of the reasons why, I changed my name. I don't mind putting some aspects of reselling of what I'm doing in my reselling business because it is entrepreneurial, but that I don't want to have my channel strictly reselling. So that's one reason why I took a step back to kind of just really think about the type of content I wanted to put out.
That's cool. I understand, bro. I was just saying that, you got a lot of people that support you. A lot of people in the chat are your fans and supporters. So whenever you're ready, we'll be here. We'll be here to support you, bro.
Sure.
So tell me what else has been going on. I think you messaged me a week or so ago on Instagram. Think you were doing DoorDash or Instacart or something. What else have you been up to lately?
That's it. So just been doing DoorDash, man. I started doing DoorDash. You know, there's downtime in reselling game. I only got, you know, unless I get out of town, I got 2 thrift stores in my town. I live in a small town, so the nearest thrift store I got to drive about an hour. So 2 thrift stores in town. Garage sales are my thing. That's how I get a majority of my inventory. And then I do a lot of, I've been doing some more HighBid auctions lately. So I do have time to kill. And while the kids are in school, I hit the lunch rush on DoorDash. And it's like, depending on the day, it varies, but usually it averages about $50. $50 for like, you know, 3 hours. So that's you know, $200 a week, obviously not counting gas. So it's just another stream of income, you know, that I could have coming into the household, you know. So and again, I'm always looking for other streams of income, you know, that I can bring in more money because I got time. eBay allows you a lot of time to do other things and to have other ways to make money. So I know with you got your eBay, you got your courier business. I mean, both those things allow you to do those things together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the whole idea. Like we were talking about before the stream started, is having multiple different streams of income. So since we were on last, I started up a second eBay store. YouTube channel got monetized. I've been working for the courier company, and then maybe next year in 2021, I'll throw another log on the fire on top of that. But it's just something you do incrementally. It's not something that you just do all at once. Like I just got like almost 5,000 items listed on my eBay store. You know, I'm trying to get to 10,000. So, anyways, I wanted to give a shout out to the Cap guy. He's here hanging out. We got Emily Conway here. We got Derek here. He says, Calvin, possibly one of the first homies. So he said, Derek is here hanging out with us. Yeah, for sure, man.
I know Derek, you know, Derek, we've talked before. I mean, he has multiple streams of income too. You know, he's doing the reselling thing. He has his, what's the employment staffing business, stuff like that. So, you know, that's to me, that's cool. I mean, multiple streams of income again is always a good thing. So I've been looking at getting my I want to become a commissioned notary in my state to be a mobile notary. So that's another stream of income that, you know, everything for me is being able to make money and being able to dictate the time that I'm making my money, you know, and not depend on somebody else tell me, well, tomorrow you work 10 to 7, tomorrow you work, you know, 2 to 11. Not that that's bad. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But for me, that's not what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I'm with you. So yeah, if you get your notary license, they have something called a loan signing agent. You know what that is? And
that's exactly why I'm getting into it, to be a loan signing agent.
See, we're already on the same playing field because you want to know how I know? Because almost every other week. Yeah, what I'm saying, we always run into each other in the same live streams. So I already know that we're thinking the same because I always see you all the time. Before you had a YouTube channel, we would always run into each other. And I would always say, hey, what's up, Kelly Hustle? What's going on? Because we'd always run into each other in the same chats. So I was like, already knew that we were thinking the same because we were both in the same live stream chats hanging out. So tell me a little bit about what's going on with your eBay store, man. Last time you talked about you were killing it in the hat game. You were selling like $100 for a hat. You have some video games or electronics. Give us an example of some other stuff that you've been selling lately, Calvin.
So probably I sell a lot of shoes all the time. One good thing that I will recommend. So I was on HighBid a couple weeks ago and I bid on 4 lots and I won them. The 2 of the things were starter jackets, so vintage starter jackets. I only bought the lots because of those 2 jackets. Those 2 things haven't sold yet, but I got them listed pretty high. I paid $74 for the complete 4 lots, but 2 of the lots I got had a bunch of vintage Halloween decorations, and mind you, Halloween has already passed. So I took the chance on those lots, and both of the lots included spirit balls. So I don't know if you're familiar with spirit balls. I would show you, but I sold them all. It's like kind of like these clear things, and there's like a fortune teller in them, or there's like a witch. and they're censored. So where you walk by them, they kind of move their heads and make noises and stuff like that. So I got those, and I didn't realize how the value of them. So when I looked it up before I even made the bid online, I seen these things were going for like $100, $120. So I was like, perfect. Now there's 2 different sizes. So the size I got was a 9-inch size, so they weren't as valuable, but they were still valuable. I sold one. The first one sold right away as soon as I listed it for $49.99, and then I had 2 that sold for $89.99. So one of the sales on those spirit balls covered the whole cost of my bid on the HighBid auction. And then I still got a few items left that I got to list that are Halloween vintage. But yeah, I mean, I don't really stick into one category. I'm kind of a man of many hats when it comes to selling a lot of things. So I think the more items you list in a category, obviously you're going to sell a lot more of it. So I usually sell like a hat a day, is what I'm good at selling. Another thing that I just dabbled into, and speaking of another eBay store, because I got tons of cards that I kind of gradually bought. So I want to do another eBay store just specifically for sports cards.
Right.
But last Friday, I got lucky. I waited at Walmart, got there at 6:15. They don't open till 7. And I was able to score some cards. So I got 8 blaster boxes of the NFL Prisms. And if you don't know anything about sports cards, like right now the market's hot. So they're $20 a pop. So I spent, after taxes on the 8 boxes, $171. I initially was only going to pop 2 boxes, and then sell the 6 on eBay because that was going to be good profit. Even if I popped the 2 boxes, but I popped my first box, and when I ripped it, I pulled a Jordan Love Prism Silver card, and right now that card's listed on eBay. I got it listed on eBay for $325. So ripping that card open alone, I was already in the money. I already profited right there. So I broke open 3 more boxes, and that weekend from the 4 boxes total that I broke open, I made $50 just an individual card selling, and then the 4 boxes sold for $300 total. So there's money in the card game too as well. You just got to be fortunate enough to get your hands on them, and that's the thing. So cards are selling right now. So really, I'm always just trying to keep my head on a swivel, and whatever I look up, I mean, that's the great thing about eBay. You look something up, if it's worth money, it, you buy it and you flip it.
So, Calvin, have you done any retail arbitrage lately? Have you went out to like Walmart clearance, or have you done any retail arbitrage? I was out there on Black Friday and got a couple things. So I was just wondering if you were out there doing any retail arbitrage or something. I was out there today at the, I'll show you guys, at the Dollar Tree, and I've been getting items, for example, like this. It's new in the shrink wrap, and you can see it says Walmart Select on it. So I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1. And then, you let's say you buy 100 of them for $1 a piece, and you can sell them for $10, $15, $20. So basically you can turn $100 into $1,000 after you sell all of them. You know what I mean? So I'm just bringing it up as retail arbitrage, because you says you don't have a whole lot of thrift stores in your area, and we may be going another lockdown soon. And so I'm just trying to maybe think outside the box to get merchandise. So it's just something to think about for sure. We had a question in the chat. Emily Conway asked a question. She wanted to know if you make your own music, your intro music on your video.
So my cousin, obviously my family's back in San Diego, but he's been doing music since we were, I just turned 37. He's been doing music since we were, 10 years old, just making music. So for my intro that I would have on my videos, and all the music, background music that I had in my videos, my cousin made all of it. So, so that was a cool thing about that. Like, it was no charge, and he kind of he would just shoot me music all the time. And I was like, well, finally I get to put it to use. And then when I thought of the intro, I was like, cause like here's how I want my intro to sound, or like here's kind of the topics I want you to hit as far as how I want my intro to be. And he when he made it and sent it to me, like I was kind of astonished. Like I didn't expect it to come out like that. I thought it was cool as hell. So that was a cool thing. Yeah, my cousin made that, all the music.
Okay, cool. So, Calvin, man, let me know. Give me some advice, because you're a full-time reseller. So, if someone wanted to become a full-time reseller, you have maybe your top 3 tips that would help somebody out. If they're like, man, I would like to do this full-time reseller. You have some maybe some tips or pointers or advice that you could give somebody who's watching.
For sure. Having all your ducks in a row. So, I mean, depending on if you have a family or if you're single and you don't have a family, there's a couple of different routes you can go. But from my perspective, just, having a family, being a husband, being a father, probably the number one thing you have to have in order, especially when you have kids, is health insurance. So, me being fortunate, that my wife works for a great company, we had that covered. So that wasn't an issue for me. So I would say, if you got a family, make sure that you have, some sort of healthcare in line, as far as that goes. The next thing I would say is capital. Make sure you have enough capital, because now you're going to be using all that eBay money for your living expenses. So, when I was part-time eBay, I was able to just stack every dollar. I didn't have to touch it at all. So I kind of set myself a good foundation. So capital, make sure you have yourself a good foundation, because you still got to go out and source. You still got to invest into your business at the same time that you're now using your money that you're making off of that business for your expenses. And to go off of your expenses, do as much as you can to minimize your expenses as well. So you put up a video, how to foolproof your income, or how to foolproof your finances.
I made a video a week or so ago when I was talking about bulletproof your income. Yeah. And I just made like a little.
Finances. Yeah, so cutting anything you could do to cut expenses. If it's $10 here, not going out to eat no more, maybe cutting that Netflix subscription, maybe that gym membership, whatever the case is. Like, if you can find ways to cut your expenses. I will say this. I mean, obviously there's resellers out there, there's levels to it, and there's resellers out there that are making money and they can have certain luxuries and it doesn't affect them. For me personally, getting into reselling, I've taken, because I was always in sales. So I sold at Verizon, which I made very good money. I sold cars, made very good money selling cars. But again, it's not always about the money. It's about happiness. So depending on the level you're at, I'm not going to say reselling is going to give you this glamorous life. It can, depending on how you scale it. But again, just cutting expenses, making sure you have enough capital, making sure you have your insurance. If you have a family, those would be some of the main things I would say if you're going to go full time. Now, somebody like you, cut your expenses, your rent, $400, $450 a month. A good car that gives you good gas mileage and economy like that. So, yeah, man. I mean, I would just say make sure you got enough capital to eat and then invest in the business. Because if you don't have capital to invest in your business, you're going to be out of business.
Right, I'm with you. I wanted to give a shout out to Derek for Fundamentals of Side Hustling. He just gave us a $2.99 super sticker. So I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out with us today. And I'll have you and your guest and your co-host. I'll have you guys on the show soon, maybe the next week or so. All right. So just hit me up. I wanted to say BK from the Rockies is here. I wanted to give him a shout out. And Derek says, you said it, money is not everything. Yeah, because it's like, the thing is, you were making good money working when you said selling cars, but you were trading your time for money, and you didn't have the freedom aspect to work whenever you want to work, be off when you want to be off. You were just always working, right?
Bro, when we first moved to Iowa, I sold cars, and my second month into the business, so my third month into the business, I ended up selling like 18 cars or something like that. And just for the commission check alone, after taxes and everything, I took home $6,500 just out of commission. And I looked at it, I was like, fuck, like this is crazy. But I had to travel an hour to go to that dealership. So at the time, I had to be to work at 8 a.m. every day. So at the time I'm leaving my house, I got to leave by about 6:45. My kids were a lot younger, so I would always miss my kids in the morning. Dealership closed at 8 o'clock. So now I got another hour and 15 minutes to drive to get home. And if I'm working a deal late, it's even later. So now I'm not getting home till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So a lot of the times, I didn't see my kids. And my wife would be, up, but she was tired because she worked at the time as well. And I had Tuesdays and Sundays off. So we try to do as much, as we could during those days off. But just to travel and just the time away from home and missing certain things is, again, you realize that there's so many things you can do to make money. Time is the most valuable thing we have because we don't get our time back. It's our most.
And you don't know how much time we have left either. That's the thing. Nah,
man. In the words of Dom Kennedy, if you woke up today, you are blessed. So not to kind of get deep or anything, but it's simple, man. It's time. Yeah. Time is everything. Of course, we all want to make more money because in that way we can enjoy certain things. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and say that money don't matter. Money matters. The more money you have, the more things you can do with it. But it ain't everything.
All right, cool. So Calvin, I want to talk a little bit about, can you talk about how it is for you balancing having a wife and kids and a family and still working as a full-time reseller? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I don't have any kids right now myself. And there's other people who are just like, oh, well, I have a family. It's more difficult for me to do reselling, but you're a full-time reseller. Can you talk a little bit about your time management abilities? Because when you get up and you got to get the kids up in the morning for school, talk a little bit about how that is for you.
Yeah, so we kind of got me and my wife kind of got a cool schedule of what we got going on right now. So she usually has to be to work around, she usually has to be to work between 8:30 and 9. And we don't live too far away from her distribution center where she has to go and, go into work every morning. So the kids start school at 8. So usually we'll both get up about, 6:30. We'll make some coffee. I'll come downstairs and I'll start working on my items that I sold the previous day. So whatever I got to pack, I'll get those packed up. My wife will start getting the kids ready for school. She'll drop them off to school. So the kids in the morning, I'll come upstairs and help out a little bit. But in the morning, we kind of got that process to where she kind of takes care of them and she drops them off to school. And then so from the time they're in school from 8 o'clock until 3, I kind of got that bulk of the day to do what I need to do. So whether I'm going, whether if I want to go sourcing, whether if I want to get some stuff listed, I kind of have that uninterrupted time. So in reality, you could do this. You can get, depending on where you want to be in your listings, I could probably within that gap of waking up and having to pick the kids up from school, I could list 20 items and have my whole eBay work for the day done in that time span. So then you got a lot more time, that you can do other things, which kind of goes back to other streams of income. So, eBay, once you learn the system of eBay, you could really make it efficient as far as how you're getting stuff done and accomplished for eBay. And then the good thing about being full-time is you can break up your day. So let's say you want to work on eBay for two hours in the morning, and then let's say you want to go do some DoorDash during lunch rush and then go pick up your kids from school, come back home, and then start working on eBay again. So you have that luxury of pretty much putting in the time without having a strict or a schedule that you have to, kind of stick to. There's nights where, if I don't work on, I'll work on eBay in the morning to get the previous day's stuff done, like packing items. And then there's times where, I'll wait until my wife gets home. Once my wife gets home from work, we'll sit, maybe we'll have a beer or two. Once she goes to bed, then I'll go like from 10 o'clock at night to like 1 a.m. Then I'll start working on eBay stuff then too. So you can kind of break it for your day. You have the luxury of doing that when you are full time. You just got to be cautious. You kind of got to stay focused because time could get away from you. You could let time get away from you and like, shit, what did I do?
Right. You got to have that balance. So, so Kelly Hustley, can you talk a little bit about some hot items that are selling for you? You talked a little about selling some sports cards. Do you have any items that's been blowing up? Because when I was watching your channel last time, you had weeks where you were doing $1,000 a week in sales, and I know you were selling some of them hats for $100 a piece for those hats. Can you talk a little bit about it? Is there anything in particular that has been really good for you? Video games or electronics? Is there anything that's really been standing out for you that you've done well with lately?
I mean, not really, man. I mean, like I said, just a lot more so on the collectible side. I think my last 7 days, I'm at like about $1,700 in sales in like my last 7 days. So,
man,
yeah, I would say for me as a full timer, I don't think that's enough because, I think I could be doing a lot more, and I know there's full timers that are, but I'm trying to do other things too as well. So, so that's partially my fault. But yeah, I mean, last 7 days, I'm right around 1,700. But it's literally, honestly, man, it's been a little bit of everything. I've sold. It's been shoes. It's been. I'm actually short on games right now, man. So I haven't come across a good game deal in a while. So that's one thing. But yeah, it's been shoes, hats. I wish I can pop open my eBay, but I'm using my. Let me see if I could.
That's all right.
It's honestly it's been a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So have you done any more Facebook Marketplace deals lately? Derek says that's solid as hell. Though that's $1,700 a week in sales. That's pretty good. But I was just curious, have you done any like yeah, have you done any like Facebook deals or any local deals lately? Or because it's winter time where you're at, right? So you don't really have a lot of yard sales.
Yard sales are completely gone. So the last batch of stuff I got off Facebook, I got some Santa Claus like ceramic figures, and then I got 3 games for $1. So in our local area, we have I live in Mason City, Iowa. They have it's a group. It's called Mason City Iowa Auction, and so people will put stuff up for they'll put a picture up, and then they start the bids at $1, $2. So you just go and put 1 or 2 or whatever the case is. So it's a cool little auction, and I got 3 games, 3 PS3 games for $1, and one of them wasn't. The 2 other games were kind of garbage, but one of them was NCAA 13. Which isn't the big one, but it's still a $25 game. And I got 3 games. I got those 3 games for $1. So, but that's as far as doing the Facebook deals. That's what I've done lately. Again, no, I haven't had any Facebook deals, any home runs. But again, that's just part of me not looking. Right now, I kind of just been focusing on if I'm getting inventory on HighBid, because HighBid, you're just going to get a lot more bulk on HighBid.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you about that because I've never done HighBid before. Can you tell us a little bit about how it works? Is it like for a local auction company, or does it go through a thrift store? Like, where do they get this merchandise at on HighBid? And can you talk a little bit about how it works? Like, is it an auction? Do you bid on HighBid, or you just make best offer, or how does that work, bro?
Yeah. So if you go, if you just Google HighBid.com or go to HighBid.com, HighBid.com is the mothership, but every state has this, has their section. So I do, Iowa HighBid.com/Iowa, whatever the case is. But you can look by zip codes and all that stuff. So what it is just like you said, it's a bunch of local auction companies. And the reason why that's even a lot bigger right now is because, the current situation with the virus and all that stuff. Like, these auction companies can't have live auctions at the moment. So they're putting their stuff on HighBid. So you're able to bid on these items just like you would be able to at a live auction. So you go in, you register for your account, you can narrow by zip code. And if you want to look outside of your zip code, you can. And there's certain companies that will ship your winnings to you. So it just all depends. But I stick local. I will go so I'm in Iowa. If I'm looking for hats, I will go to the other farming states like Wisconsin, Nebraska. I'll look in states like that because it's not too far away. To where even if they don't ship, depending on the auction that I win, it wouldn't be too bad of a drive. But yeah, I just stick to local auctions. You register for an account. Auctions pop up on a daily basis, and then you just go in there and you start bidding on stuff, and you can look at everything that they have on there, all the different lots. Sometimes, you want to have a little caution on certain things, like especially with electronics. You don't want to bid too high on certain things because if, let's say, there's a DVD VCR combo, and if you can get it for $5 to $10, and you look up the model, and you can get $100 for it, $80 for whatever, that's a good buy, and $5 to $10 cost into that, it's not too crazy. But let's say you get it home and it doesn't work. It sucks, but you're only out the $5 to $10. Now let's say you invest like $30-$40 into that item. You get it, you take it home, and then it doesn't work. Well, now you're in for a lot more money. So they don't test these items at the auction. You kind of just go on, you kind of just take a chance, just like you do with anything else. You know what I'm saying? So HighBid.com, you can definitely get some great stuff on there, and you can get a lot of stuff on there too, and for dirt cheap.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you give us an example of any kind of deals or any kind of auctions that you won on HighBid where you hit like the mother load. Is there anything like that recently that you got on HighBid or what, bro?
Well, yeah, like I said, the auction that I won 2 weeks ago, I had $74 invested into it. And it came with I got a bunch of vintage Halloween decorations and 2 starter jackets. So one starter jacket I have listed right now for $199. I don't know if it'll go for that much, but it should go because it's Seattle Supersonics, and Seattle Supersonics, they don't exist no more. So that's, it's very limited on you being able to get that. So I should be able to get at least $150 for that. And then I have another hockey, the Panthers, the Florida Panthers hockey starter jacket. And I got that listed for about $89. So with just those 2 items alone, that's going to triple my money. But I've already sold the 3 spirit balls, 2 for $80 and then 1 for $50. That I've already made my money back. And then I still got items, Halloween decorations that I got a list from that auction on there. So when it's all said and done, it's probably going to be, from a $74 spend, it's probably going to be about close to $500 in profit.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm trying something different. I'm going to be ordering. It's not arrived yet, but I'm going to be ordering 1,000 CDs that are brand new in the shrink wrap for $400. So it's going to arrive at my house. I'll have 40 cents a piece tied up in the CDs. And if I could just sell them for $10 a piece times 1,000, now you're turning $400 into $10,000 worth of merchandise. Now they're not all going to sell overnight, but you got to think, okay, if they sell for $10 a piece, I only need to sell 40 of them, right, to get my money back, and then the rest of the other 980 or however many that is, it's all going to be profit, Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting ready to do is buy a big lot of merchandise in bulk, have it shipped right to my door, and then I'll be able to just scan the barcodes and list them because that's 1,000 listings for $400. Like I said, your buy cost is 40 cents. And some of these CDs are going to sell for $15, $16, $17, $18. But if you just get a $10 a piece, that's a 25x on your money. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm looking at, buying something like that where you get a whole bulk lot of 1,000 items shipped to your door. So we got fundamentals to side hustling. He says auctions and online arbitrage is the way to go. And we get a little bit of the garage sale. We got Jade in the house. We got 3Gen Hustle here. We got Hyphen Gold here. We got Sal. Sal says, "What's up, guys? Always going to keep it 100." And we had a question from Jade. She says, "How much time do you both spend marketing on social media, including YouTube? And is the effort worth it for you?"
I mean, that's the eBay business specifically. It's something I was thinking about this, recently. I think if you have an eBay store, right? So I got an eBay store. I think if you have an eBay store, and I think if you market or put ads and run ads for that eBay store, I think it's something that I don't know if it's being utilized at all for anyone that has an eBay store, but I think it could work out. Kind of like in the same aspect. I don't know if you're familiar with drop, or not even drop shipping, just like having a Shopify store, and either you're doing like a print on demand or like a drop shipping, whatever the case is. Like you're running ads, you're gonna run ads to your website, to your Shopify store, because no one knows who the hell you are. I think the advantage of having an eBay store or an Amazon store is, and this is why I don't really bitch too much about the fees, is because for those small percentage of fees that you're paying Amazon or eBay, you're paying for that traffic. If you took all the items in your eBay store or a Shopify store and you ran ads by yourself, it's going to cost a lot more than that fee you're paying to eBay. So you're paying for the traffic. That's the part that people don't realize. Now, if you are a reseller, or if you have some sort of business, whatever the case is, a product or a service, and you can utilize Facebook or YouTube, like an example, one of the bigger channels, guys like the Cincinnati Picker and Shed Flips and all that stuff, they have a big enough audience to where they're going to get sales through their audience, just by putting out videos. So I think it can work. Someone's always going to get a sale, just by somebody watching them, depending on the size of their audience. Like my man Derek, Fundamentals of Side Hustling. I got one of his shirts. I bought one of his shirts, but that's just because I'm a fan and I support him. You know what I'm saying? So you can do things like that. But as far as like just the eBay specifics, I think you can, if you have a store. I don't know that anyone does it, but it's something I thought about. I think you for sure can run ads on Facebook and direct traffic to your eBay store. That's something that's for sure possible. But again, but running ads takes capital, so you got to keep that in mind too as well. Now, there's always the organic free reach, but it's not direct. It's not direct targeting a specific niche. So let's say you have. Let me break something down.
Hey, Calvin, go ahead.
So sorry. So let's say you have something like this, a Tales from the Crypt doll. This was another recent Facebook deal. I got 4 of these. These are just some vintage, just like, I don't know, 24-inch figures or whatever. So let's say you got something like that in your eBay store, and it's Tales from the Crypt. And let's say you focused on one niche. Let's say you had all hats in your eBay store. What you could then do on Facebook is you can directly throw ads in the people who are fans of hats. So people who follow like the company, the company Lids, or Kaplan, or just anything involving hats, you can target those people and try to get traffic to your eBay store in which you're selling all hats. So you can niche down, the demographic you're trying to target to through Facebook. But again, it takes ad spend. It costs money to run ads, and that's why you're paying for that traffic through your fees on eBay without having to run the ads.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways you can do it. I put 1% promoted listings on everything in my store, and so it's just 1% that gives you a little extra traffic. Yep. And then I have my eBay store is linked to my YouTube channel. So if someone wants to come by and check it out, that's more traffic. And then the regular search engine traffic. So you keep pushing traffic to your store that way. But I wanted to ask you some questions because we're running out of time. What's going to be next for you, Calvin? Well, next year, 2021, what's some of your goals next year that you have in mind of things that you want to get done and you want to accomplish next year?
So I kind of do. My wife says I need to get more organized in certain things. So my thoughts are kind of just like off the cuff. I'm off the top of my head with everything I do. But just one thing that stands out, I was talking to my father-in-law about a week ago. My main objective is to generate $100,000 of income just by being an entrepreneur. So whether it's, if I can do 50,000 plus sales on eBay, and then if I can get my notary commission, if I can become a signing agent, which is it's something that I've been heavily researching lately. A signing agent, you can make very good money, and there's a demand for being a signing agent. So so being a signing agent, if I can take off in that niche right there, again, just doing whatever I can do to generate be $100,000 entrepreneur, which it's something that's very hard to do, man. I mean, you can see it's possible because, there's days where you can do an $800 day in sales, a $400 day in sales, a $250 day in sales on eBay. And if you could just duplicate that, every day, that's it right there. But it's like making $100,000 as an entrepreneur is definitely a big goal for me. Creating another consistent form of income outside of eBay.
Right. There's all different type of ways, Calvin. I had a guy on my channel about a month ago, and he had an ATM machine business, and he paid $2,500, I think, for one ATM machine. And every month he's making $2,000 a month from that one machine. I was watching JT Hustle's channel today. He had that guy on, and he was the guy had a fleet of cars, and he would lease out cars. So one car he had, I think said he was doing like $3,000 a month off of that one car. So the payment was $500 that he had to pay on the car, and then he was still making $2,500 a month by renting out a car. So there's all different type of ways of things that you can do to generate money. I mean, I have nothing wrong with reselling, but I always feel like you need to have multiple different streams of income. Like at any time they can put a zero or shut your account down or get suspended. And then what are you going to do?
For sure. And I think about that all the time. Having multiple streams of income is, again, if you have one stream of income, you're one step away from having no streams of income. So anything happen, you can get barreled, they could shut your store down for whatever reason they want to, because you don't have control of what they want to do, and I'm not saying that to scare anyone. It's just the reality. So it's having multiple streams of income, no matter what you're doing, whether you're working a 9 to 5, whether you're an entrepreneur, you have businesses. I mean, most people who have businesses usually look to starting other businesses as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a snowball effect and it'll grow over time.
For
So,
sure.
Kelly Hustle, I don't want to keep you much longer, bro. If you could give us a couple of tips, because not everybody is a full-time reseller. Not everybody's out here doing, $1,700 a week in sales. I mean,
Yeah,
I
man.
feel like it's a grind. You just got to sit there and get your, I feel like the most important thing is getting your listings done, reinvesting back in your business, and then doing the shipping costs. Right.
Yeah.
So what would you
Yeah.
say your top 3 tips would be, right? To help somebody out if they're like, man, I may be making $500 or $1,000 a month, but I want to grow my reselling business where I can make $8,000 or $10,000 a month. Do you have some suggestions that you could give us to help these people out?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different routes you can take. So the one route is, yeah, if you're making $1,000, a month right now, and you're listing 50 items a week, we'll duplicate that. Yeah, that's just logical. Do 100 listings a week, and more than likely, it's not guaranteed, but more than likely your sales are going to go up to $2,000 a month. So that's one way of doing it. You can double your output and what you're putting into the eBay store. The other option is maybe you're not listing as much, but maybe now you're listing higher profit items, which is what my buddy does. He was my manager at Verizon. His sell-through rate is ridiculous. He probably has like 300 items listed right now, and he's sitting close to like 700 items sold. And these are high ticket items. And with no audience, no social media, no nothing. He just has a knack for it. So a lot of the times, don't be confused by just assuming you're going to list more, you're going to get more sales. It does take an eye. Like you ultimately have to pick decent items that people want. You can't just go putting garbage on there and expect that your sales are going to double that way. But on average, if you're doing this number and you want to double that, just double your output, and that's pretty much it. It's like everyone says, there's no algorithm, or we don't know the exact algorithm. But one thing I can say personally is the more I list, the more sales come in, and that's just the bottom line.
You ever heard that term? It says the harder I work, the luckier I get. Right? You ever heard of that before?
Yeah,
right,
you give yourself more opportunity. There's more now. Instead of having, I like this analogy. Now instead of having one lotto ticket, now you got 20 lotto tickets. You know what I'm saying? That you have an opportunity to get out there and get money. So.
Right. I was watching a Daily Refinement the other day, and he said the more items you have listed on eBay, he said it was more like having more fish hooks in the water. So the more hooks you have in the water, the more chances you have of catching fish. So you just got to get out there and get more items listed, and you're going to make more sales and keep reinvesting in your business, and it's going to grow. I wanted to say hi to 3Gen Hustle. They gave us a 99-cent super sticker. Nice. So thanks for coming out. Said that they had to run. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, one other thing I was going to say too, and we're always, the more you do this, the more you give your chances, the more your chances are going to increase to make mistakes. But don't be afraid to make mistakes, because you're going to get better. But one of the other things I will say is a lot of the times, well, most of the time, your money, your profit is going to be from the buy. So how much you're buying something for is very crucial, is very key. Like you wouldn't buy those 1,000 CDs for $800. The math has to be right for you. I'm just giving an example. You got the right math. You know what I'm saying? So the math and the numbers have to work out. So make sure you're watching what you're spending on an item or on a bulk items or whatever the case it is. The money you make is going to be in the cost you have into something. I got lucky and figured out, through Cernot, Tank, and then Tim over the years, they got me into looking for hats. And I got lucky to be in a market where there's high quality, high profitable hats. And so a lot of the times I'm into these hats, I'm into these hats for a quarter, $1 at most. And so if I'm into these hats for a quarter and $1 at most, I'm not going to hit those $100 hats all the time. But if I'm selling these things for $20 a pop on average, $15 to $20 a pop, and then I got my $50 hats in there, and then I got my $100 hats in there, I mean, the numbers just work out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to say hi to Carolina Hustler. Fundamental is a side hustle. And Derek, he says, if you post 300 trash items, you're going to have a trash outcome. He says, do
That's
the
it.
research on the items. So he's talking about your sell-through rate. Yeah, yeah. And so anyways, we've kept you here for about an hour. Give me your final thoughts, Kelly Hustle, and tell me, this is what everybody wants to know. Tell us when your next video is going to be dropping, bro. Can we expect one now before Christmas? Is it going to be 2021? Give us a download, bro. Give us the info, bro.
I'll shoot for 2021, but if I pop something before then, it'll just be sporadic surprise. So I do want to get back into YouTube, man, for sure. But I'm going to use what I'm going to be using my channel for now, as I'm going to use my channel the same way like ABC, NBC, Fox, HBO, all these channels. You go to that channel not to watch one specific niche, but you go to those channels because they have a bunch of different genres that they have. So I want to look at myself more as like a network. So I want to look at myself like an ABC. So you can come to my channel and you can watch stuff on entrepreneurship. You can watch stuff on sports. You can watch stuff on multiple different categories. That way I'm not boxed into saying, I got to put out this reselling video, or I got to put out this video on entrepreneurship. I can go in there and I could talk sports and I can actually enjoy myself. And that's why I got into doing YouTube and making content, because I wanted to have fun. And so the main thing is just having fun. So for sure, 21, I'm coming. Maybe before then I might sneak something out there. But as far as like entrepreneurship and eBay and reselling, man, just try to stay focused. Try to stay consistent. Don't worry about any of the bad things that happen, like returns or stuff like that. That's going to come with any business. You're going to have stuff that goes wrong, but you got to be able to fight through it. And just, man, try to enjoy every day. Again, like I said, you woke up today, so you're blessed, man. So just try to take that, have that perspective, and you know, just try to be better than you were from yesterday. You know, just always try to level up, man.
All right, awesome. I wanted to thank everybody here in the chat. Carolina Hustler, -Gold is in here. Derek, Fundamentals of Side Hustling. Bearded Veteran. 3Gen Hustle was here in the chat. Emily Conway, Jade was here. So I want to thank all you guys for coming by and hanging out with us today. And I got your links down below where people can reach you on Instagram and YouTube. So tell them the name of your YouTube channel again.
Yeah, YouTube channel. I am Calvin Kelly. That's my name. I'm Calvin Kelly. So I am Calvin Kelly. YouTube, same thing on Instagram. Yeah, I'm not on there too much, but you know, I kind of get on there and browse. And then if you want to, I got room on Facebook. If you want to reach out to me and friend me on Facebook, I don't mind. I'm always there. I can answer questions or awesome. You know, tips or whatever the case is. So yeah, man, that's.
Got you. So it was great for catching up with you, man. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me today. I will see you guys tomorrow. I've got Roy on tomorrow from RK Treasure Center. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Peace.